you were saying that for you, giving is kind of like a lifelong story. It's not like a, hey, I've grown in the past year. For you, it's something it's been your entire life. Tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit about kind of who you are and
Okay.
how this journey evolved, you know?
Well, I think I've always wanted to donate and give and do, and I come from a family that we've often done fundraisers. I'm actually a child of a family that's received money. So my mom had double kidney failure, and the medical bills were astronomical. So very good friends of the family put together a golf tournament and a benefit dinner. So it's something that I have done, that I have received things, but I've also been able to do that for very good friends of the family, anybody who's gotten sick and things like that. So I've grown up doing all of those things. I've always been told that there are poorer people in the world than just us. So it's something that's been in our household. But I think over the last couple of years since I've come to Christ, it's really resonated in what I'm supposed to be doing and what God actually expects of us. I know that there are several steps in what he wants us to do. So I know that the biggest step is becoming a sacrificial giver. And I don't always feel like I do that. But it's also understanding that it's not just giving of money. It's also giving of your time. So I think that there's people who will say, well, I don't have $1 to give, or I'm not like the widow who's going to give her last 2 pennies. Like, I don't even have the 2 pennies to give. You can give of your time, you can give of money, and you can also give of your heart. And I think that that's what's really resonating to me. I went to Kenya this past year, and while being there, I don't want to say that it felt like a vacation, because it wasn't a vacation, but the fact that I can say, I went to Kenya, and I met some amazing people and amazing children, it wasn't like it was hard. And I think that that's where I struggle with what God wants me to do, but I think that that's where God's grace comes in. I gave of my time, and I gave of my money, and I gave of my love, and I'm looking forward to going back, and it's something that I'm working on at the moment. But the fact that I was able to have fun, I think, is God's way of saying, this is how I'm paying you back. So it doesn't come in a car, and it doesn't come in a house, but your heart and the joy that you receive is overwhelming. I think that we have to trust what he's asking us to do, and understand that what we're going to get back is so much better than we could have ever imagined. And it's 1,000, a billion times better than what we have given up in order to get that back from him. I know that I often struggle sometimes to say, we're supposed to be humble in all of this, but I also know that we have to share our stories. So I struggle with that sometimes, to say, people are kind of like, oh, isn't it great that you've given up your time, or you've given up vacation time, and to do all of these things, and I struggle with it. So yes, it's happy, and yes, it's great, but then I kind of have to think back and going, I shouldn't be this happy. But I think that that's, again, it's the enemy telling me one thing, but it's also the amazing reminder of what God has given me in being able to do this.
What would be your gut reaction advice if someone said, Fiona, I know what God wants of me, and I know that you're saying it's better if I do it, but I'm scared right now. How do you take that first step of faith?
I think that's it. I think it's literally giving that first step of faith. You just take the leap. God is going to catch you. And being caught in that is just so great and amazing. I don't think I could change any of it. I wouldn't give any of it up. I actually now look forward to doing it. So I say, take the leap. I have a fear of falling, so take the leap. You will be caught, and you're going to be caught in this amazing, joyous, gracious, loving, wonderful world that you're just going to want to continue to do it. And again, it's God doesn't ask you for addition, he asks you for multiplication, but that's also how he pays you back. You have to trust in what you're giving up, because he has something so much greater in what he wants you to do.